Wah, test, test, test. Wah, test, test, test. Alright, I'm audible. Okay. I love resizing windows in VR. It's such a wonderful thing to do. Visibility, there we go. Public. Done. Save. Okay, I should be live now. Bada bing, bada boom. Dun 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 dun. Yo, what's up? I'm trapped in Silent Hill at the moment, but I've got internet access, so I can answer some of your questions. Why are you so cringe? I was just born this way. Like the Lady Gaga song. I've never streamed in VR before, so if there are any awkward pauses or gaps of silence, that's why. I don't have like a thing in front of me that's like, you know, that can engage you, you know, like an FPS gameplay thing. Howdy, welcome. Super robot anime or real robot anime? I haven't seen enough of either. I've seen Neon Genesis Evangelion. I've seen the original Gundam. I've seen Gurren Lagann. I like super robot anime. I like outlandish things, but I think there's something to appreciate about the realism too. Zeton girl model when? None. I've checked. Don't worry. I do have a model of my channel avatar though. I'll show that later. Am I coming in good? According to my OBS, it says I'm coming in with mono audio for my voice, but that's to be expected because this is a VR headset. Is Mazinger Z good though? I've never seen it. I'm sorry. I know you must be disappointed in me. Do Zeton have yellow tits? According to the Kaiju Girls design, yes. It's fucked up. Also, these are supposed to be the eyes. I did not know that until recently. It's fucked up. You have now entered the Zeton zone. Will you commission someone to make a model of your Zeton girl avatar? Maybe. I have commissioned a good friend to make one of another OC of mine, but I might show that later. It's a bit weird. I've never really like explained it in the context of this channel. Oh, it's fine. We're all joking here. It's Steffi, yes. There is a Steffi model. It's out there. It's real. Steffi is real. If you've seen the Dr. X, the Revenge of Dr. X video, it appears very briefly. I am stepping up on a curb, and it's like elevating me slightly. This is a very awkward position. Let's move the camera slightly. Yeah, someone ported a bunch of Ultraman models to VR chat. Many people have. This is one of them. Are Ultra Kaiju sentient? Yes. They're usually capable. It depends on the kaiju, but like if you mean sentient as like a dog is sentient, then yes, they are. They can think. They express emotions. Where's Mukadender? In hell where he belongs. Zeton, why the fuck are you in Silent Hill? I was trapped here. I think I'm gonna start seeing monsters formed from my psyche soon. I have no idea which game this model's from. Thoughts on Dinah and Gaia? I will make a video about them sometime. I will say, Dinah's okay. I really like Gaia. I think the steps it takes forward in storytelling are really compelling. And I think it ends on a great note. This is my monster graveyard timeout corner, yes. Let me move the window here. Favorite Ultraman movie? Let me move the thing here quickly. Favorite Ultraman movie? It's a toss-up between the Next and Shin Ultraman. I'm gonna have to see both again in order to better confirm that. Yeah, the guy who wrote Tamers did Gaia, and like they might have been involved in something recently. I remember hearing they were an anti-vaxxer or something. Don't take my word for it. I'd need to read into it. It seems like a thing Kaiju Twitter was going on about like a couple months ago. What the hell did you click onto? It's none of your fucking business. I'm killing you. How do I see chat while wearing a VR headset? Quest has this thing where you can pin a window, and I'm reading it inside VR chat right now. You can't see it, though. It's just on my headset. Did someone make an avatar for Arstron? Basically, like, if it's a model from a PS2 game, then it's in VR chat. If not, it's rare. I know people have made 3D models for characters that aren't from PS2 games, but like you'd need to ask permission from them if you want them to be on VR chat. Do a T pose. Let me see if I have enough room here. It's kind of shit. Zetol. Do I need a headset to play VR chat? You can play on desktop, but I have a VR headset, so I'm able to do VR chat stuff. Zeton fan cam. The Zeton flip video is kind of like one, in an abstract sort of way. Let me move slightly. I don't like being in this little corner. Favorite monster from Ultraman Nexus? I like Nosferu a lot. The stories it's involved in are some of the most interesting in that show. Zeton swimming pool stream. You know, someone did actually make a VR chat version of that pool, so I could go there, hypothetically speaking. Favorite Dunamis from Nexus? You'll have to wait until the video to find out. I'm in the middle of rewatching that show for a video. Is Zeton's eye the glowing middle part of its head or its gray parts? I think it's these things, from what I've heard. Zeton is a strange creature. Is Zeton artificial? They call it a space dinosaur, so maybe it's a biological organism. Maybe they've tuned it up like Gigan or something. Thoughts on Pikmin? I played the first game recently. I got about like 15 days in and I got too scared to continue it. Why did I kill Ultraman? Fucker he deserved it. I'm not good at improv. What wasn't it called, a space dinosaur by mistake? I have no idea. I mean, you could say he's a space dinosaur. Who would give better head? That is a question for my good friend Keymace. One monster, final foe for Ultimate. Oh, that's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard that factoid. It's been a... You know, I'm considering doing the original Ultraman after Nexus for that whiplash, to go from something very story-driven to something that was basically the originator of the Monster of the Week trope. Ztol. I can't do the sound. I need, like, audio effects for that. Thoughts on the new Ultra 7 movie? I think it's very promising. It seems to be just a concept movie, which is a bit disappointing. It's apparently going to be like 7 minutes, because, you know, haha, like Ultra 7, but I think it would have been nice if it was like a full-length episode. You know, that would have been fun. But it's nice that we're getting it at all. It's very uncanny to see Koji Moritsugu, young 60s Koji Moritsugu, in like in modern day. It's very strange to see that. It was apparently achieved through CGI, which is interesting. As long as he doesn't move or talk, the effect will probably stay consistent. Where are my ears? In hell where they belong. Yo, what's up? Remember that short and edgy Ultra 7 show where we beat every... Yeah, Ultra 7X. That was a... I talk about it a bit in Nexus, because that was like the closest another Ultra series got to being as dark, and I don't think it works as well. It's very mean-spirited for the sake of being mean-spirited, and I'll talk about it if I ever do a proper video about it. Favorite fish? I like tuna. The blobfish is also funny. It's been... If you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably might have seen the Minecraft video where I did the whole VTuber thing, and like a couple months ago I ported it over to VR chat, so this is what it looks like. Yo, what's up? This is the little goober in the like in the profile picture. This is the funny, the #1 funny character. What bad horror film from the box set would you most like to remake? I'd like to see another go at Embryo. That just seems like an interesting concept to explore, and I don't think they explored it as well as they could have. McDonald's or Burger King? I like both. It's kind of... I don't go to both often because I don't like eating fast food. But, like, I enjoy a good Burger King. But McDonald's is usually more prolific. They're fucking everywhere. Where is Zeton? In hell where he belongs. I can't make an angry face. There we go. This is me in character. Thoughts on Redman? He's funny. I don't know if I can do like a video on him. It's kind of just a one-note thing. It would probably be like a quickie. Zeton went into Silent Hill and he didn't come back. Favorite episode from a bad Ultra series? I'm about to talk about it, actually. Ultraman Powered. The Dada episode is genuinely alright. Like, I enjoy the concept of taking that kaiju and turning him into, like, a virus. And it's got a decent structure, for once. The fight at the end sucks, but that's every Powered episode. Favorite Ultraman ending? I still really dig the Ultra 7 ending. I think it was a nice climactic end to that series. What was intended to be the last Ultra series. It ended on a really explosive and amazing note. I mean, it's Dan saying goodbye, and it's all very emotional stuff. And the music and the cutting, it's a beautiful finale. Talk about Ultraman Trigger, please. No. No. Thoughts on Zone Fighter? The show it's corny and kind of bad in ways that Ultraman isn't, but it's enjoyably schlock too. I enjoyed watching it. It was fun. I'm considering doing a video on it since it's so similar. I'm thinking of making a spin-off series of the Ultra retrospectives too. Have you seen that one? Yes, I have seen the Ultraman Hanna-Barbera thing. It was very transparently something made to start a series. Like, the structure of it, it's like 5 episodes in one movie, and it's very clunky. Oh yeah, Zone Fighter also suffers from being cut short. It was another one of those shows that was hit by the oil crisis. Where do I go for figure purchases? Either Amazon, eBay, or if I'm feeling funny, AliExpress. Favorite video you've worked on? Ooh, that's a question. I really enjoyed doing the Super Tokusatsu Tyson video was really fun to make, because I also got to play a video game on the side. I also really liked the friggin' what's the name of the movie? It was the one with Dragon Lizard Lords. I enjoyed exploring that whole mess. Can we please see a Spectre-Man review? I would really enjoy seeing that, I think. It's like 60 episodes, so it's a bit longer than what I usually do, but it would be a fun little, like, Ultra Gaiden thing. Son 1 seen Hindu. I don't speak that. I'm sorry, man. What program do I use to edit my videos? Adobe Premiere Pro. I should really be pirating it, but I'm paying for it because I'm an idiot. Ever heard of the Golden Bat? Yes, a very prolific character that surprisingly doesn't get, like, a lot of recognition. Smiley, smiley. Bleh. Any kaiju that you enjoy for the sheer fact of how ridiculous they look? Pterochilus from Return of Ultraman. It's just this, essentially a turkey that's had its, like, head stuffed into a body, and, like, it spits webs. If you won't talk about Trigger, I'll talk about every show eventually. Ultraman Z is really good, though. I would recommend that as, like, a starter series. I'm glad you like Ultra Gaiden. I've been shopping different names, and I like that one as well. Do I plan on making a video about Andromelos? I've never seen Andromelos, but I feel like it's one of those things that might explain a couple things in the Ultra series. Like, it might be the originator of like a certain trope or something. Thanks for the $5, Quazzle. If you were to change an ending to any Ultra show or any show, what would it be? I would have the... if I can't have the Nexus ending be 12 episodes, then at the very least it should be 2, because that shit needed to breathe. Your thoughts on common writers like Jay or Zoe, who lean more on the darker side? I've never seen those. I'm working my way through Kamen Rider. I'm going through the series people seem to really like. I'm watching Ryuki at the moment, and I'm enjoying that. Ultraman Nex Us. Nex are us. That's understandable. Like, I enjoy modern Ultraman to an extent, but, like, it's one of those things where you have to deal with its problem. Like, you have to tolerate certain elements of it, otherwise I'm just going to be complaining all the time. Would you watch episodes of Ultraman Reboot? That's a good, like, April Fool's video. Do you still have Ultraman Stretch? Fun little update to that. As soon as the video ended, the paint started flaking off, so it's naked now. So, like, if you check my community tab and you scroll down, you'll see what it looks like now. Favorite bad movie? Hard thing to bring up on the spot. Can I give you you don't have to give me $110 super chat. Only give what you have, you know? The Room is really good. It's a really good bad movie, but it's also the one everyone would pick, so I'm not going to pick it. What are your problems watching? I don't really... You just gotta tolerate the more toyetic elements that are always going to be there because Bandai and Tsuburaya need to make money. I'm not apologetic for them, I just tolerate some of the more annoying bits. And some shows are definitely worse than others. Like, I like Jeed a lot, I think it's okay, but they went fucking overboard with forms in a show about a character who's trying to form his own identity. So they gave him 5 forms featuring other Ultras. You know, the message is a bit muddied. Am I excited for Blazer? Yes, because it looks like they're doing a serious thing. Have I seen Ultraman USA? I answered that question before. Yes, I have. It was okay. It was very clearly like a stitched-together TV show pilot. The goofy character in this bleak landscape is something. Thank you, Daikaiju Legends, for the $5. Appreciate it. I'm trying to scroll up on the comments right now because there may have been some questions that I missed. What's your least favorite Godzilla continuity? Continuity? I'm sorry if I'm, like, breaking the mic right now because I haven't streamed with a VR headset before. Least favorite Godzilla continuity? Friggin' hell. There are a lot of those, aren't there? Megaguirus? Well, not even Megaguirus, because that was kind of interesting, how it was sort of an alternate history thing. I guess the Heisei series, more so because the movies are kind of boring. Favorite Ultra Henshin device? I really like the one from 80. I like how it sort of pops open. Grand King thoughts. Was he the guy from Ultraman's story? I forget. Who's your least favorite Ultraman villain? Least favorite? I guess least favorite would be Dark Lugiel. There wasn't really much to him. He was another Dark McEvil guy, and his name sounds like Dark Luigi. Thoughts on Cosmos? I need to finish it, but my first impressions of the first 25 episodes wasn't great. What's your favorite Godzilla continuity? I like what they were going for with the Kiryu Saga. I like how it had every guy in it and they were trying to do like interconnected. I also like the Showa era for how the tone is all over the place. I mean, your character wants to kill Godzilla because he feels like it. What kaiju from Ultraman that everyone loves but you can't see the appeal of? I don't really hate that many kaiju, other than like ones from shows like Ace where the designs are all over the place. I don't want to throw stones. It's fine to like any kaiju. Least favorite new generation DX toy? I don't pay attention to that shit. What kaiju from Ultraman that? Oh, I already read that. In 2024, Godzilla will be 70 years old yet. Yeah. Most annoying new generations Ultra show? I hated Ginga S. I thought it was loud and annoying. RB, it's the humor. Most of the humor fell flat for me. It was very, very kiddie. Malaysian Ultra fans are chill. From what I've seen, yeah. Play Among Us, the VR version. If I bring together friends and I, like, buy that, sure. Have I seen the Shin Super Mega Robot? Yes, and it's $300 fucking dollars. Why? Why? That design, those figure, that figure articulation, that's like 80 at most. Who is the best waifu? Fucking, I don't know. Fucking Lin Fire Emblem. I haven't paid attention to that game, to that whole waifu game in years. Check out the Milpitas monster from 1975. All right, if perhaps the best waifu is Steffi. Yes. Should I show her? Should I show her? FE3 stream when? I should do that. I haven't done that in a while. I did that like 3 years ago. And like at the time I hadn't seen Dyna, Gaia, or Cosmos, so I had no idea what was happening in those stories, and it was very funny. Do it, show her. Okay. Okay, you're not allowed to say anything. 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 That was weird. Most rewatched Ultra show. Ultra 7, surprisingly. I've seen it almost 3 times through all the way by now. It's I gotta see it again for a retrospective though. The mouth appearing and disappearing, that's because the model creator can only do PNGs of the mouth. They couldn't figure out how to do the proper motions. Why didn't you talk about the serial killer episode in Ace? That is a very loaded question, but also I also wonder that because it was kind of jarring. It was a very jarring episode. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of water, and if you hear any weird noises, I apologize. You didn't hear anything. Who is Steffi from? She's an OC that I made like a couple years ago. Because it's funny to do big boob OCs, you see. And this character, just to set the record straight, this Golden Chan is a separate character. I hope you didn't hear my gulping. That would be gross. When I see Steffi, I wanted to hit them and see what happens. What, with like a baseball bat? Golden Chan is the persona, yes. What is your favorite Ultraman and your least favorite? And your least Ultraman? Favorite is hard to say. I like Tiga a lot. I like Nexus a lot. Least favorite? Fucking, I don't know, the RB brothers? No, not even, because they have like actual designs. My least favorite would be something like fucking... I don't fucking know. I like Zero. I like Zero a lot. This week on Mythbusters, we fucking hit Steffi with the hammer. What are your thoughts on the orb origin design? It's fine. I think it's like a good base design, and they didn't need to make any fusion forms. The fusion forms are inferior. Any plans to review giant superhero shows that were released in the US? Iron King, Red Baron, Just Beyond? Maybe. Maybe. Would you rather be stuck in a room with Doug Walker or AVGN? AVGN, I guess. He seems like a pretty chill guy. I wouldn't even mind Doug Walker. Like, he's a character, but he seems like a nice enough guy on his own, outside of the Nostalgia Critic character. And sure, he did some bad things a while ago, and he's a bit weird, but he seems fine. My least favorite Ultra show... I can't even say it's Ginga-esque, because, like, you know, there are things about it that are fine. But, like, I wouldn't say Ginga's even a bad Ultra design. It's a nice little re-envisioning of the basic red and silver guy, but with, like, some blue on him. I understand the Ultraman Jack design being like that, because, you know, it was intended to be Ultraman, but he's back, but they, like, backpedaled on that at some point. Ultra 7 X review when? Maybe when I've done the Heisei Ultra 7 stuff, because I feel like you need to save Ultra 7 X for the end, since it was the last Ultra 7 tribute show thing that came out. Is it weird? Isn't it weird how 80 does not have a mouth? Like, does it not disturb? 80 has a mouth. He's got a chin. I'm about to cough and it's gonna be really loud. You didn't hear anything. Heisei Ultra 7, I'll eventually do a video on it after I do the original Ultra 7. It's a show that needs a lot of time to, like... It's deceptively long. Like, it's longer than Cosmos, if you consider every episode is an hour long. From what I've seen of Heisei Ultra 7, it's really good. It's like episodes of Ultra 7, but longer. Holy shit, it's Zeton? Hang on, let me change avatars here. Also, hi, Singa. Welcome to the VR dimension. I'm in Silent Hill. I'm trapped. Get me out of here. Beep 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 beep. Oh. I'm not screaming into this, like, dollar store ass mic. What is your favorite Ultraman game? And you got me. It's Fighting Evolution 3. That's what I was going to say. Become Shinzeton when someone ports a model of it to VR chat with consent of the original mod creator, the original model creator. Aside from the avatars you've shown, what other avatars do you like? I've got like 47 favorites. Will the... Oh, where is that darn camera? Ah, it's too far in the ground. It's a pot that's shaped like Among Us. Best Zeton redesign? I like the original Zeton the most, probably. I think Hyper Zeton is fine. I think I'm just gonna keep it to the characters that I usually represent myself with. Where did that damn camera go? Where did that darn dang old camera go? The screen's probably gonna turn black for a second. Okay, there we go. Alright, testing, testing. Alright, I appear to be here. Let me read some of the questions I missed. Zeton needs your help. Give him your credit card with the funky numbers behind it. Am I gonna buy more bootleg fligglers? Spoiler for the next figure review show, I just bought one. It's kind of a crap-looking Nexus figure, but we'll see. It was like 18 bucks. Speaking of things that I'm spending money on, I used some of the patron money to buy a replacement part for my computer. It was like about the same as what Tears of the Kingdom currently costs, and I wish that I could buy that, but I'm currently embroiled in making other content at the moment, so no fun Zelda game for now. Where's that damned fourth Chaos Emerald? In the fucking clown park or whatever Shadow was in. I ate it. Give it back. Give it back. We need that. Sonic needs that to go supersonic. Can I scream? No, I do not want to do that to you guys. Is 80 an underrated show? I think it's okay. It's mostly not talked about because Tsuburaya just doesn't release it ever because it underperformed very badly. Someone asked that question before. My favorite Nexus kaiju is Nosferu. I like the batch of episodes he's in. He's a funny mole rat guy. Do I like causing harm? Killing you, killing you, killing you, killing you, killing you, killing you. Hi, Dicker T. 80's intro is phenomenal. It's just so catchy and lighthearted, and it's fun. Why is 80 the hardest character to unlock in FE3? Because he was just kind of a bonus thing. Giraffe's smile moment. Will I do a review of the FE series if there's enough demand for it? Yeah. 80's intro feels like toothpaste. That's ridiculous. Favorite Ultraman kaiju from the original series? Fuck it, why is my arm up there? Zeton is the cheap and easy answer, but I like fucking... I like Bolton a lot, he's weird. 7th level dabbing. Do I have enough space to dab here? That'll be $100, please. Dorako or Redorako? I don't remember the difference between either. Bolton is iconic. I love Bolton. Bolton hasn't made any major appearances since Max, which was 2005. Which is the best Ultra movie? I already kind of answered that. For me, it's a toss-up between The Next and Shin Ultraman. I like Shin Ultraman a lot, but that could be recency bias. So I'll settle it to a review. Geronimon needs to come back. Geronimon is a cool kaiju, but I think they might be hesitant to bring him back because he's kind of got the Native American thing going on, and that might be offensive. I don't know. It's not really intended to be an offensive thing, but I don't know. There could be something stopping it. My dream Ultra game, Fighting Evolution 4. Give it back. Give it back. Give it back to us. We need it. We don't need fucking Ultraman RB for the Switch. And it's like you waggle the remotes because it's a babby game. Battle in Hyperspace is a fun little thing. It's one of those Ultraman movies that's essentially an extended episode of the show, but it's fun. Most overused Ultra monster and most underused. Gubila is most overused. I don't think people realize that, but Gubila, I do not look forward to seeing that little fucker. I like Shin Godzilla the most. It's wrestling with more interesting themes, and I think it's a perfect escalation. Endings are kind of weak. But like it's generally I prefer it. It's a great movie. Both are great. I like both movies. Let's not make it a competition. Gubila will be in episode 10 of Blazar. I'm telling you now. Superior 8 Ultra Brothers, that's another contender for best Ultraman movie. It's really heartfelt, it's really nice, it's really sweet. It's fun. Which is the most butchered, Tyrant or Birdon? I'd say generally when Tyrant reappears, they still treat him like he's a big ol' threat. But when Birdon reappears, he's just a monster of the week, and they kill him in one episode, even though he spent like 3 slaughtering everyone. I'd say Birdon is the most butchered. It's the worst villain decay of the two. What's the little fuck that likes Money Monster? That would be Kanegon. He's fun. I'm gonna be doing an Ultra Q retrospective in October as like a Halloween thing because it's like a spooky show. Most weird moment in VR chat itself. I mostly just spend time with friends in VR chat. I don't go on public servers. I don't want my models being stolen. That would suck. I've got like funny VR chat clips, but I could not name the weirdest one right now. Let me scroll through here to find any questions that I missed. I've been streaming for 43 minutes. Let's do this for another 20. Actually, let me grab my phone and start a timer. I don't want to tire myself out. Well, I guess I should be because it's like 11 o'clock. Have I played the new Ultraman Kaiju Rancher? Yes, I have. It's cute. I enjoyed what I played of it. Gomora is also pretty overused, and like I feel you can't use him anymore after Ultra Galaxy Fight or Ultra Mega Monster Battle, whatever it's called. You can't really make another Gomora after that. That's like where it peaked. No other Gomora is going to be as good as that Gomora. Me with every Ultra Kaiju, little fuck. Favorite Ultra Q episode? The Goobly Goobu the Gumbulon episode. Nah, the real answer is like Peter or something. I haven't seen Ultra Q in like a couple of years. Do not fret, Ide appears later in the series. Not as himself, but the actor does. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not touching the public servers. Battleline? I unfortunately play Battleline every day. It's a bit of an addiction. Space Warriors 2000 review when? That would be a good April Fool's video. The Bimblygon Episue. What's the weirdest Ultra Kaiju name? Gumbulon. Follow-up question: the monsters being sentient. Are they really evil or just an animal trying to survive? It depends on the show. Generally, the original Ultraman was kind of weird about it. The original Ultraman, he killed anything that was close to human civilization. It was a bit fucked. But some Ultra Kaiju are just outright evil. There's a Kaiju literally named Woo. Woo! Favorite Ultraman name? Ultraman, Regulo. It's a silly name. Worst Kaiju design. I don't really have, like, a least favorite, like, single Kaiju, but I don't like the design philosophy of Choju, where they just stick a bunch of shit on each other. It looks chaotic. A lot of them look the same to me. Did you ever find out about Ultraman's orbs? I'd rather not talk about it. I've seen some shit. But yeah, any questions about upcoming videos and whatnot? You know what, I might as well show off the rest of the Steffi model. I only showed, like, the top up. Yeah, fuck it, who cares? You can't talk about it. You can't talk about it. I was expecting this reaction. You can't get me. You can't get me. The sledgehammer isn't real. Does it typically take you to script out a review after you purge the whole series? I usually don't watch Ultra shows with friends. Powered was an exception because there were some episodes that, like, I just couldn't do it on my own. It was just so boring. But the Powered episode took about 2 days to script. I had a lot of thoughts about the show already, and I was able to fill in the gaps. Got more meat in them thighs than Hasty Godzilla. Nah, she wasn't real. She's not real. You're having a delusion. Steffi looks bad at math. It wasn't her best subject. Zeton 2, nobody's ever made a 3D model for Zeton 2, unfortunately. Favorite Zeton given the hue? I said, like, Hyper Zeton or this Zeton. It's fine. I like Shin Zeton. He's fine. He's cool. If I look back on this stream and the most replayed part is the Steffi reveal, then killing you. We need floppy ear Zeton. Yeah, Zeton 2 should get a 3D model. So I heard you'll be doing... Yeah, I would be doing every MonsterVerse movie. Though realistically speaking, I don't plan on doing a MonsterVerse video until maybe around the time of the 10th anniversary of the 2014 Godzilla. Like, it's hard to get over some of my biases, I think. It's a series that's... I've been putting off watching King of the Monsters again for like 3 years now because there are too many negative, like, thoughts associated with that movie, and I want I want the filter to be freshed. I want the filter to be refreshed so I can look at it more objectively. Because like I would spend the whole review talking about how angry I was when I first it's something I need to think about, or let time cleanse any negativity so I can be more objective. Have I read the Marvel x Ultraman crossover? I read the first series, the Mystery of the Rise of Ultraman or something. It was fine. I should read the other ones though. Yeah, clean palette is the word for it. What monster do you think will never come back? I can name any alien from Ultra 7 that isn't like the ones that have come back. What's his name? Taro Cheerless will probably never come back. I pronounce Windom like Windom. Thoughts on Kamala Khan being an Ultraman fan? Good for her. Good for that fictional character. She likes Peak. It's a bit fucked that they're killing her off, though. That's a bit weird to do in a Spider-Man comic. I could possibly review the Fighting Evolution games. Again? She was killed before? She died for Paul. I haven't read those Spider-Man comics. I've just been hearing about what's happening in them, and they seem like the antithesis of what Peter's life has been building towards. You know, it's like they're just doing it because, we want readers to read our shit comics, and we're gonna do outrageous things like killing a character that isn't even a Spider-Man character. It's just fucked. Do you prefer big serious monster movies or unserious big bond? I think there's room for both. I generally like both. I don't have a preference, but there is something to be said about seriousness, because the 2014 Godzilla movie is my favorite of those MonsterVerse films because it was going for something very brooding and dark, and I think it worked for the most part. It's just that maybe the screenplay was a bit but like overall I really enjoyed it, and I think a Gareth Edwards King of the Monsters could have been better than what we got. King of the Monsters, it's a phenomenal score. I will not deny that. I think Bear McCreary knocked it out of the park. He was able to make big bombastic music while also giving it melody, which is something I cannot fucking say for the Godzilla vs. Kong score, which was just the one song, and they like used it for characters that weren't like, you know, the Godzilla theme that goes brah, 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 that on top of just not being the Godzilla theme, they used it for fucking Mecha Godzilla for some reason. Like, there is no consistency with the leitmotifs. It's fucked. Like, there are no melodies other than that one in that movie. And I think melodies and incidental music are very important in movies. Justice for Gamera, they're making an anime that might be mid, but I'll watch it and might enjoy it anyways. The animation style I'm not a huge fan of. I'm glad you had that experience with King of the Monsters, because I was not happy with the human characters in that. Going to Japan in July, good for you. I wish I could go somewhere like that. Yeah, like, Kadokawa's not been kind to Gamera. It's fucked. Going in November? Neat. I do not have the money to go to Japan. You were born a year after you were born in 2007? Whoa. Will I do a retrospective of Ultra Q? I said it earlier, but I plan to do one in October because it's kind of a spooky show. It's kind of a Twilight Zone, Outer Limits adjacent show, and it fits with the usual content of my channel. Also, you gotta eventually cover the first Ultraman thing. It's being directed by one of the directors of the Godzilla anime trilogy guy. I hear he's the one who wanted more Godzilla things in the Godzilla anime. So maybe we might get some good fan service at the very least. Why is Ultraman media so hard to access? I mean, Mill Creek put out the entire series recently. Quality is sort of mixed bag, and you can stream it on You can stream a lot of it on Shoutfact. The reason why it's been so hard to distribute a lot of it is because of the fucking Chayo case. For years, that has been stopping Ultraman distribution, and like it finally got resolved in 2018, 2017. So that's why we're getting a deluge of North American video releases. Kiryu's best film is his first film. Yeah, Tokyo SOS is mid. It's like 40 minutes of a monster fight, and I don't really care about the new guy. The characters are boring. It's mostly a retread of the last movie, even down to the Berserk Kiryu thing, but they have it at the end this time. Now, I will say, I would recommend other Ultra series first, but there is one YouTuber named Singa recommended them to me, and I'm using their footage in the video. But there's this one YouTuber named Bright Eyed Toku Fan, and they did an AI upscale of Ultraman Nexus, and that looks pretty good, so I would recommend that. It's on YouTube. Yeah, and Tsuburaya is doing a whole worldwide push now. That's why Ultraman is in a Marvel comic. I've been standing in one spot for like 10 minutes. My feet hurt. I recommend Max as a starting show. I'm going to take another drink of water. It's going to sound gross. You're going to get more ASMR. You didn't hear it. You didn't hear any of that. Let me read some of these questions that I missed. I will say, having read that Born After the Last Gamera movie, it is so weird to me that I'm old enough for people to be younger than me. That's so strange, because I'm so used to looking up to people who are, like, older than me, and I've got some friends who, like, I didn't know were older than me, and they sound more intelligent. You know, it's very humbling. I like MonsterVerse Mothra. I wouldn't say she's my favorite. I think original 60s Mothra hits that good balance of dingy but cute. You're 15 and 6 feet? That's nuts. I'm like 5'10". The reevaluation of Godzilla in '98 in the fandom has been recent. It's a combination of nostalgia and a bit of that bias disappearing. I think Godzilla '98 is a shit movie, and it's annoying and stupid, but, you know, it's fine to like it. It's got that it's a romp. It's got characters in it who act. It's got actors in it who act. It's got a script. You know, people can enjoy that. I'm not a fan of the Steelbook Mill Creek releases. I don't like Steelbooks in general because it's like they're made to be displayed and not to actually watch, but like I like watching the things I buy. And the discs are a fucking nightmare to get out because the plastic is so hard. Disney's newest animated film bombing hard as a sign of the times. You mean, was Strange New Worlds bomb? Was that the bomb? Because I don't remember if they've released anything new. Hello, Curb. Welcome. Why does Zeton have boobies? Because Eiji Tsuburaya is a sick fuck. Yeah, Mothra's pronouns have been the subject of... It's a combination of translation and... generally, Mothra is like a woman. It doesn't really matter, though. It's a monster. Elementals. Did that come out? No, that's a Pixar movie. Well, I mean, it's a Disney movie, for being real, but like, did that come out already? Wow. Okay. Well, I did see a trailer for Elementals when I went to the theater yesterday to see Guardians 3. Pretty good movie, by the way. I recommend that even if you have MCU. If you have MCU fatigue, I recommend Guardians 3. I saw a trailer for that. It didn't look very interesting. They were doing a unlikely couple thing, and I feel like that's been done a million times already. Yeah, Mothra's a girl, Leo's a boy, but it doesn't matter. They're monsters. You can make them whatever you want. Eiji Tsuburaya was Catholic, actually. Giran would be a fun monster to appear in the Gamera thing. At this rate, I'm expecting it to just be like a fun fan service thing. Quality be damned. Drinks water with Riz. It's okay. The Chayo thing was out of everyone's control. He's a madman. How much time do I have left? It doesn't need to be like a strict time limit. I've got 1 minute left, apparently. I can go for another 15. Another 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, yeah. What is the worst powered episode? The one with Zambalar, where they like spend the whole episode with him like awkwardly walking through shitty towns, and then Ultraman goes namaste, and then he leaves. That's the worst powered episode. The Dark Horse Gamera comics are a very strange thing. I've read them, I don't remember much of them, but like it's got great on-model art of Gamera and his foes, and the story's like a weird sequel to Guardian of the Universe, but like there are aliens. It's very strange. Am I Zeton? Yes. I'm also Anime-chan. Don't worry about it. Have I read the weird Tiga manga? I have not. Apparently that was a Dark Horse comic thing. It looks interesting. I don't know. Thoughts on Godzilla in Hell? It's probably one of my favorite Godzilla comics. It's just so out there for it's such a great setting for a Godzilla thing. I really enjoyed it, and they get weird with it. What Ultraman spin-off material are you interested in watching? I've been meaning to finish the Heisei Ultra 7 series for a while now. I've been, like, gradually chipping away at it because it's something you gotta set aside time for because every episode is, like, an hour long. Thoughts on SpongeBob? The first 3 to 4 seasons are fine. They're good. The rest, I mean, you've heard it all before. You've heard everyone's opinion about old SpongeBob before. Mine is no different. Opinion on the Netflix Ultraman anime. I need to read I've seen the first season like a long time ago. It was back when I had only seen everything up to Ace. And I enjoyed it, but I've been meaning to read the manga because I've heard that it's way better. Ultraman soundtrack is your favorite. Recency bias, but Nexus. Nexus is just phenomenal. It's just so crisp. It fits every situation. It's a wonderful, wonderful incidental music. Kenji Kawai is like the unsung hero of the Ultraman composer verse. Yeah, that's what I hear about the Ultraman manga too. It's like a completely different story, and the anime just truncated and changed it for some reason. I guess it's because the manga isn't finished yet, and they want to do their own thing, which is commendable. It means people can choose whichever one to watch and read, but like the average person isn't going to know that. They're going to think that the manga is the same. Thoughts on characterizing Godzilla as an animal with a I think you could make both work in both contexts, but I think for a very specific type of story, you need to have them act one way or the other. I think Godzilla having a personality works better in like a goofy thing, but like him having a personality in a serious thing, it also kind of works with Godzilla 2014 because like he just seems tired. I like that characterization. It depends. Like I like goofy Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Megalon, but like Heisei Godzilla, he doesn't really have a character, which would be fine on its own, but those movies are boring, so that just adds to that. Bada bing, bada boom, welcome back. Let me read some questions that I missed. What kaiju has the most Riz? Gigan, I will not explain further. How long have I been a fan of Godzilla? Not as long as most people. I got into it when I was like 9. I saw like a picture of him in a monster book, and they said he was 300 feet tall and he shot laser beams, and I was like, fuck, all right, I'm in. Where do I start? My first Godzilla movie was the 98 one. Yes, it's a Godzilla movie. It has his name on it. It's officially sanctioned. It's a Godzilla movie. It's not a very good one, but it's a Godzilla movie. My first Japanese one was Mothra vs. Godzilla, the one from 1964. Yeah, the thing with me was like I loved dinosaurs already. I loved Jurassic Park. I loved those goofy guys from 65 million years ago. And then Godzilla was just the next step of that, and now I like crazy, weird designed creatures. Cinemassacre's Monster Madness was like the secondary of that, where like I learned more about the movies through those videos. That seems to be the case with a lot of people. Though this is gonna be a real weird tangent, but the first like piece of media, official Godzilla media that I had was like Godzilla Double Smash for the Nintendo DS. And I saw it's complete garbage. It's one of the worst Godzilla games ever. But there was a gallery mode that had pictures of the monsters in them, and I was like, "Whoa, that's what the monsters look like? Holy shit! I need to be seeing these movies." Just like me, for real, for real. Thoughts on the Shin Japan Universe project? It's a fun little thing. I've been saying for years that like, well, not years, but like, if you're doing a crossover thing with those characters, it should be like a short movie. And that's essentially what we got with the figure reveal. It was just extremely weird and funny. How do I feel about Universal? They removed it from the logo? That's weird. Spinosaurus is my favorite fucking dinosaur. Why would they do that? Giant Claw versus Godzilla, that's something for fan animations. I don't know if the average consumer cares about the Giant Claw, but that would be funny though. Well, this is the first time I'm actually using this avatar in a... Well, actually, no, I used it for like a VTubing stream like a couple years ago. So this is just me using it in VR chat and streaming VR chat for the first time. I would also like a new Godzilla game. Where is it, Toho? The epic fail Minecraft video. Favorite Gamera kaiju? Giran is fun. He's a funny guy. I like Gyaos a lot. That's a basic bitch pick, but I like Gyaos. I like the angular head. I like Showa Gyaos a lot. It's just a bunch of angles. What VR headset do I have? I have the Quest 2. It was a loan from my brother. He was going to sell it, but then I got it as a Christmas gift instead. So it was very nice of him. Have I played the Mega Man Zero series? Yes, I have. I've played the first 2 games, and I started 3, but I didn't finish it. I recommend the Legacy Collection because those games are hard as fuck. A Godzilla game on every platform would be nice. I think they should focus on one platform first, because in development, if you're doing a game for every console, then manpower is going to be divided among 3 or 4 separate platforms if it's PC, Switch, PS5, Xbox One. So you need to focus on one and then port to the rest. Because that's how we get fucking Cyberpunk 2077, you know? Barugan is your... Okay, I like Barugan too. Godzilla vs. King Kong vs. Gamera. That's a fan animation waiting to happen. It probably has happened. Favorite Silent Hill game? I finished 1 and 2. 2 I played last year, and despite being a less impressionable 22-year-old at the time, it was one of the most beautiful gaming experiences it's one of the best games ever made. I think Silent Hill 2 is one of the best survival horror games ever made. It's so quiet and meaningful and impactful. The sound design is perfect. The visuals are perfect. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. We are now in the Xbox X and S era. Yes, we are. And I still don't own any new console. I only got PC, which is fine because I've been upgrading it. Who is your least Godzilla? I don't really have a least. I guess a least favorite would be, I don't know. Skilla from... I don't really care for a lot of the new MonsterVerse kaiju. They peaked with the Mutos. I like Behemoth. Leviathan or Tiamat or whatever. The serpent one that's literally just Manda. That one's kind of boring. They just did Manda again and called it something different. Desert Island Toku franchise. I haven't seen a single show of it, but that would probably Super Sentai because they make one every fucking year. I would have content for years. Am I done collecting Godzilla figures for good? Probably not. I'll just buy less because I don't have as much money anymore. Well, if you never finish Silent Hill 2, just look up a guide. It's a rewarding experience. What Ultraman episodes shocked you the most? I guess when I was initially watching... Nothing really shocks me anymore, but I guess when I was initially watching the original series, the Jamila episode hit like a brick to the head. Because it was just so different. You play any Resident Evil? I've tried multiple times, but I just can't get into them. I'm sorry. Like I said, Silent Hill 2 was one of the best games ever made, but I don't really care for horror games. I'm too scared. I'm too spooked easily. Do I collect Marusan figures? I don't know what those are. I can't remember. Is Jet Jaguar Kmart Ultraman? He was essentially made to sort of piggyback off of that series. But like he's fun, he's funny. I don't dislike... I like Jet Jaguar a lot. He's funny. The fact that that design was what they went with is funny. Favorite Metal Gear game? I have not... The only one I've finished is Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. It was the first one I played because it was the only one on PC. Peak Godzilla media? Shin Godzilla is pretty up there. I think that's pretty ideal. Like, it's reinvention of this old property, and they like modernized it, and like it's great. It's well told. It's a genuinely great movie. I liked Godzilla 2014 too. You see, I would play Metal Gear Solid 5 if they ported the other ones to PC as well. I actually have Metal Gear 1 on PS1 on like a physical disc that a friend lent to me, and I got about 2 hours in and I didn't finish it for whatever reason. Gotta go for lunch? See you. Have a good night. Have a good day. Thoughts on Hideaki Anno? I think this is a very interesting question. I do not revere the man. I think he is subject to his vices. I think he has a tendency to go overboard, but like that just shows he loves the things that he likes making. He's a character. He's a character. He's a character. I sound smarter when I'm scripted. I don't like using the word auteur, because that sounds pretentious, but I do think he is a genuinely talented person, and when his ideas come across clearly, they can be beautiful and meaningful. Like, I love the original Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think it's a great show. But yeah, he has a tendency to get wrapped up in his obsessions. And like the worst of it, I think, is in Rebuild 3, where he spends most of the movie doing cool shots and not explaining what's happening. It's over. But Rebuild 4 is fine. Thoughts on Godzilla 2000? I like both versions of the movie just fine. I like the Japanese version and the American version just fine. American version is a bit better because of the sound design and a little tighter editing, but the Japanese version has merit too for its musical choices. You know, it's funny to poo-poo Heisei Godzilla for like having monsters with tiny arms so they can't throw any punches, so most fights are just nudging into each other. Okay, my alarm went off. I should be done. I should be wrapping up soon. I'm gonna go on for another 5 minutes. But yeah, it's fun to make fun of the Heisei Godzilla movies because he just bumps into them, and like they shoot beams and there are explosions and it just all gets flaccid after a while. But at least they have energy. At least there are camera angles that suggest competency. With Ultraman power, they just shove each other. That's all they do. Sometimes he does a flip, sometimes he pushes them really hard and they fall over. Then he does a beam and they disappear into a cloud of smoke. Because they can't be fucked to put money into their series. How do I watch Evangelion? I watched it on Netflix like 3 years ago, and before that I watched it on a pirating site. Anyways, I have not been reading some of these. Am I going to watch Shin Kamen Rider when you have the opportunity? I already have my ticket. I have it set for May 31st. At my local theater. Thoughts on Pestar? He's funny. But, what's next? Okay, I might as well talk about what I'm doing next as I'm wrapping up here. The next Ultra Retrospective will be on Ultraman The Next. It's going to be a movie review. And then after that will be a review of Ultraman Nexus, the show. I've also got a horror movie thing in the works. It is a review, well, it's more like an overview of every movie given the zombie name. You know, like, there was Dawn of the Dead, which was given the name Zombie 1 in Italy. And then there was Zombie 2, which was an unrelated film that they called Zombie. And then they made a Zombie 3, like 9 years later. But it's not directed by the same person, despite it being said that it's a situation. I'll describe it. Then they made Zombie 4, which is actually a movie called After Death that they called a Zombie 4. And then they made Killing Birds, which is not Zombie 5, but they called it Zombie 5 anyway. And then there were like a billion distributors in the US who took whatever zombie movie they could find and just called it Zombie. Like they would name a movie called Burial Grounds Zombie 3, even though it's not officially part of the thing. It's a whole fucked up situation. I've counted like 17 movies that were called that. It'll be great. I swear it'll be a fun video. It's probably going to get demonetized, though, because there's a lot of boobs and swearing in them. Next, for July, I plan on covering the original Ultraman series. With how things are going, that might take a while. That might not be a July video. And for further in October, I've got a couple projects lined up. I'm going to be reviewing more box sets. Well, just one box set. It's the Killer Creature feature box set. It's got 24 movies I haven't talked about yet. I'll be looking at them. It'll be a much shorter special. And then, after that, will be a retrospective of Ultra Q. It depends on which comes first. The box set will probably come next. Yeah, I've got plans far in the future. And for a Christmas bonus, I might do Ultra 7. Because I've been meaning to talk about that as well. Where does Zombie U fit in this thing? That's actually pretty funny, that now that you mention it, because Ubisoft, one of their very first games was Zombie, with no E at the end. It was an adaptation of Dawn of the Dead, which was the movie that started this whole mess. Monkey Movie 3 review when? I would love to do more of those, but the last one bombed horribly, so I don't know if that's viable. I would love to do more, though. I wish more people saw the second one. Pulgasari, that's actually a rumor. The Wikipedia page for it, for the zombie movies, was removed. It removed Pulgasari because there was no source for that claim. Oh, and in case anyone is wondering, the zombie movie list goes up to Zombie 8. It's a bit fucked. I have been considering doing a video on the work of Akio Jisoji, the episodes he has done. So that's what I would do if I ever did an individual Ultraman episode review. Okay, so it's been great. It's been great chatting with you. I needed to decompress because I watched like 11 episodes of Nexus today, and I wrote like 2 pages of notes, and it was very hectic. But I'm gonna head out now. Thanks for joining the stream. It was great fun. It was great fun. I enjoyed talking to the channel, to the people who watch my videos. I'm sorry if I was awkward. That's just how I am in front of a camera with no script. Thanks for joining. Have a good night, everyone. End stream.